Spacey's Sims, and we are back with more Steam Prison because Finn's route is out. And now, a preface, I don't know how I'm going to handle this, because if you watch Steam Prison, which you freaking should have, so you shouldn't be starting this unless you watch that, you know how much I hate Finn. Like, fuck Finn, I hate Finn. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to go through this without being like, I hate you. I don't know. So if you're a Finn stan, fair warning, I'm probably going to hate on him, and it's going to hurt your feelings. Don't get mad at me. Like, I'm telling you right now, I am not a Finn fan. I do not know if I'm going to be able to stand this route, if I'm over how much I dislike him, if I'm going to be able to forget that and just look at this route and be like, oh, okay, it's fluffy. Here's the thing. So, I did pull up a guide so we can kind of do that. So basically, a couple of notes about the release I'm going to read from the guide. In the PS Vita version, which is when Finn's route was included with that, he was only unlocked after you did everybody, which makes no sense to me at all. Because you went through everyone else, then Finn unlocked. So that, I mean, makes sense his route coming out last. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't unlocked until you did everyone else anyway. But like, really? You want me to do Finn when I hate him so much, and then you unlock his route at the end after I really am like, no, go die in a hole, Finn? Really feel like his route should have been first. I kind of get it to start because it is like an alternate reality version. Instead of us being a prisoner, he's the prisoner, and we kind of already know that. And we go down and we're one of the hounds. So, okay. But at the same time, I don't know, I really feel like his route should have been kind of first, because it doesn't, from what I understand, there's not really a lot of spoilers or anything. And I don't know, I feel like then you would have liked Finn and been like, oh, Finn, he's so nice, okay. And then you would have done the rest of the routes and been like, you bastard. Instead of now, I hate you and you want me to do a route with you? Gross, no. But that's just my personal thought about that. So anyway, but you had to do Finn in order to unlock the grand ending. So, I mean, we obviously did that because it wasn't part of the original game. So, obviously, you know, normally if you bought all the game at one time, you'd play all the routes, do Finn's, then do the grand ending. We can't do that because we already did it, and I'm not going back and doing it again. Because I already had to do the end of this game twice, and like, ugh. Doing it a second time was like, no, I'm all over this, I'm bored. Like, I'm glad I got to redo it. But I'm also like, I wish I didn't have to do it again, but, so anyway. So in this one, like they said, okay, so information is sparse, so hopefully you remember what's going on. I mean, it's been a while since I played the game. Also, I think I blocked it out a lot just because I was like, oh my god, I remember most things, but, okay, so when we launch the so when you launch this, it actually asks you, do you want to play Steam Prison or Finn's route? So this is straight up just the DLC, so I don't think you can play any of the other characters. So it sounds like you get a different choice at some point, and then there's some points where you could choose, like, you're going to go down the prisoner route or whatever, or the bodyguard route, but that leads nowhere in this because this is not incorporating with the whole game. This is totally like a standalone thing. I think you have to have Steam Prison in order to have this, but it's not like it's tied into the game where, oh, I can choose this route and then you go down the game like you normally would. No, you have to load the regular Steam Prison version, not this DLC. So anyway, I think that's it. We are, like I said, going to use a guide. So they've given us all of the choices in the guide to say what we do. So we'll skip. I don't know if we're going to have to read the prologue again. Yes, because we were Spacey. Okay, we're going to have to read the prologue all fucking over again, aren't we? And I hate that. Yeah, you know how much I hate rereading shit that I've always done? Yes. We can't skip. Oh, god damn it. Alright. We're already starting this off on a negative foot. I hate rereading shit that I've already read, but I understand. But at the same time, I mean, you can't. There's no way they could be like, oh, let me pull in. Other games have done it. where when you had add the DLC in, you could still skip through, but I guess however they did it, there's really no way to do that, so. Darkness. At first there was nothing but a starless black void. Then I began to come back to my senses, starting with the smell. I could smell dust. I could smell perfume. And a moment later, my sense of touch returned. My fingers were drenched in warm liquid. As I flexed my knuckles, I came to an important realization. I existed. I was alive. I opened my eyes, letting light into the void. I mean, I guess it's important because a lot of the prologue was with Finn, so I guess it makes kind of sense, but I'm at home. My vision blurred every time I took a breath. It was hard to focus on anything. There was a stinging pain on the back of my head. But at least I had to get up. I took 2 deep breaths and climbed to my feet. Standing proved easier than I'd expected. My mind was sluggish. My thoughts moved like mud. Actually, I do think there's a point in this, and maybe it doesn't happen right away, because we're going to have to go through the 2 days prior, blah, 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 but there is a point where I think Finn shows up, which is why he takes the blame for you, and how your roles get switched, basically. So, I mean, I guess technically, yeah, okay, rereading the prologue's fine. All right. Look, it's just, I'm not really... I want to play this, but at the same time, like, I had to start recording this early. I wasn't quite sure I wanted to do it, but I'm like, I have to do it. It's this way I can do it in small chunks, because I'm not really sure if I'm going to enjoy it, or if I'm just going to be like, I hate Finn the whole time. So, it's going to be the struggle bus for me, okay? I'm sorry. It just is. My mind was sluggish. My thoughts moved like mud. I didn't know why I was there. I didn't know how I'd come to be unconscious. I didn't know what. No, I knew it. I could smell. I could smell blood. Sorry, my lips are dry. I gotta find some chapstick. Gasp. I turned. There were 2 figures sprawled on the floor. No, it can't be. Father! Mother! Why? Who would do this? I couldn't imagine the culprit, much less the motive that was behind a shocking scene like this. Oh, sure, we know now, but still, whatever. Still think it was Finn. Look, Finn didn't murder our parents. Okay, fine, he was innocent. But it doesn't mean that he didn't try to kill us and he didn't kill Elkcrete, okay? He did, and I know that was technically in an alternate reality, but I still hate him for it. I'm just saying. Questions overwhelmed my thoughts like a noisy crowd. My heart began to race. My gaze caught that of my reflection. I had killed them. I don't remember if that's exactly the same. We can't play the thing. I mean, yes, it's the same. She woke up, but were the lines exactly the same? Again, I don't remember. So you know what? I guess it's good we don't have to skip it. I think the only part of me that really wanted to skip was I want to skip the 2 days where I have to deal with Finn. But we're in his route, so it doesn't make any sense. See, you know what? It's a good thing the game doesn't let me skip it. It's like Spacey. We know you don't like Finn, but you can't skip it. You gotta read it. Shh, you're here for Finn. I know, but I don't want to be. This is the way it's going to be the whole time. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. Because I don't know. I cannot promise that I won't. Look, I can't promise that I'm not going to flip-flop and be like, oh, okay, he's really not that bad. Okay, in his route, he's not that bad, but I still hate him. You know, he might have touching moments. Or it might be like, no, go fuck yourself the whole time. I don't know. Most likely, I'm going to bitch about him the whole time. So just be prepared. That's all I'm saying. That's your warning. The time... It's already noon. I'd like to sleep a little more. But then I'll be late. I climbed out of bed. As I dressed, I checked what the sky was like out the window. Looks like a fair enough day. It didn't matter much to me what kind of day it was, except for those times when the bad weather made my work difficult. That's true, because the prologue... The choices never really mattered in the other game, but they actually matter for Finn's route. That's it. I put on my familiar uniform and buckled my sword belt, then straightened up in front of the mirror. My skin was clear and healthy, and I was in high spirits. If nothing else, I never felt run down. My job required a lot of physical exercise. I couldn't compete with my colleagues in terms of physical strength, but my endurance and fortitude were excellent. The only remaining step in my routine was to comb my hair. All right, time for another day of work. I went to the dining room for a bite to eat. Good day, Mother, Father. I made sure to acknowledge the servants as well with polite nods. Oh, you're already awake. I can't spend the day sleeping. I'm on duty this afternoon. My mother knelt in front of a small statue to pray. I joined her and closed my eyes. May today be uneventful. And tomorrow and the day after. But the day after was not uneventful. We prayed to Yune Sakie. He was our country's greatest saint. Sakie. He was ageless and immortal. Blessed by God, he was our Hierophant, and we worshipped him. I asked the servants to bring my meal. My father turned his attention away from the newspaper and towards me. I tensed a little. Right, Keith. Okay, it's kind of fun rereading the prologue, okay? You must be exhausted. You had the night shift as well, didn't you? There's no need for you to worry. Doing what I love is energizing, not exhausting. You might think so, but I have my doubts. Are you really getting enough rest? I sat down in a chair, nodding emphatically. I hope those sounds okay. I'll have to check it afterward because it sounds loud to me right now, but... You both worry far too much about me. There isn't any reason to. You can see for yourselves how healthy I am. We had a variation of the same conversation almost every day. It's heartwarming that they care so much about me, but... I'm an adult. I know my limits. There's truly no cause for concern. I'll complete my duties and then come back, just as I always do. Duties? Why do you insist on joining the police force? You could have followed in my footsteps if you'd wanted. No, I'm afraid I couldn't have become a politician. There's no way I could grow that tiny little pimp mustache that you have, Dad. Like, he's got the weirdest fucking little mustache. It's not really a pimp mustache. It's kind of like a pedo mustache. Like, I don't know. It's a creepy mustache. It's not a nice mustache, okay? Like, if it was a nice handlebar mustache, I'd be down. But this is like one of those weird pencil douche stashes. It's a pencil stash. Not a good look. Anyway. His name is Keith. Sitting still irritates me, and being quiet for hours would have been unbearable. I know, but being a police officer is so dangerous. Like, his mustache is thicker than our mother's eyebrows, for fuck. Well, thinner, actually, than our mother's eyebrows. Wow. Good lord. I mean, and our mother's, like, eyebrows are, like, thin, is what I'm saying. Like, Mother, we went through this a long time ago. My reason then still stands. I want to protect the weak. Even if we'll never see eye to eye, you agreed to support me in my ambition. Please don't go back to trying to dissuade me from it. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll try not to. I appreciate it. And I'm deeply grateful that you've given me the freedom to pursue this career despite my high birth. Thank you. You've always been a stubborn girl. If we can't convince you, we have to support you. And now in other matters. I feel like that's Sir Cordova's voice too, which... whatever. Yes? I have a bad feeling. I began to eat as I waited for my father to speak. You really need to try on the wedding dress. I choked on my food. My mother nodded as I sputtered. Yes, today. You haven't forgotten the wedding, have you? Maybe a little. I gave a wry grin, wiping away the tears from my coughing fit. Really now, you understand that this is your own wedding we're talking about here, don't you? Somewhat, I suppose. My girl, even if you're not yet 20, you're an adult. And this is about your future. How can it just slip your mind? Because I don't want to do it and you're forcing me to marry a douchehole that's going to murder you in 2 days? I mean, I'm just saying. Spoilers? We all know this shit by now. I'm sorry. In my country, adulthood begins at 16, once compulsory education comes to an end. And at that age we can find employment, drink alcohol, and the temple begins to send out marriage notifications. It's not like I think of myself as a child. I didn't know what to say. My father pressed the attack with a broad smile. Marrying Fitzgerald Evans, uniting our family tree with the Evans family, is a true honor. It's like Yune fucking set us up for this bullshit. He was like, I set you up for it. Just saying. Maybe we should be pissed at him. I mean, he was just fucking with us for a little while. I want to proceed with the ceremony preparations as swiftly as possible, so as to avoid any possible insult to them, and for that you must try on the wedding dress. Understand? Yes. Their stares made me feel deeply uncomfortable. If I'd attempted to drag any of the servants into the discussion, they'd have taken my parents' side for certain. What am I gonna do? Oh! My colleague's here. Goodbye! And the dress? Have a wonderful day, both of you! Goodbye! That girl. Does she really understand, I wonder? Good morning. It's an honor to serve with you. I don't remember the voice we really gave him, but, like, whatever. Finn! Thank God you're here. You're my savior. Savior? My gallant knight, come to save me from obnoxious parents! Oh, you're giving him a big head. Great job, Finn. You'll make it far in the Force. Thank you, but I'm not a knight. I don't understand what's happening, but I'm glad if I could be of service to you. Let's go, then. Sure. Time to protect peace and fight crime. Yes, Finn agreed, smiling softly. Finn's last name was Euclid, and he was a rank 1 officer at the temple, like me. Under ordinary circumstances, police officers always patrolled in pairs. Finn was my partner, and we've been serving together since the beginning. He was 4 years older than I was, though. Despite our ages, I thought of him as a younger brother, because of his gentle and quiet personality, until he tries to fucking kill me multiple times because he's goddamn crazy. Look, you can blame fucking Sashin for that, but like, whatever. Oh, also, I forgot, in this release, after we're done suffering through Finn, there's epilogues for other boyfriendos. So I'm not gonna lie, we might do them backwards, because I might be like, bitch, we need to do Elcrete Lance, because I love him so much. I get to see my boy Elcrete again. It's the only thing that makes this worth it. Keep forgetting about that. Anyway. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to appreciate Finn as he is right now, and not the shady bitch he becomes. Okay? I'm gonna try. But, like, right now he's okay. He's kind of a doormat, but like, so, nothing thrilling about you. But he's harmless right now in the prologue, so I'll try and do my best. If Finn hadn't arrived, who knows how that would have ended. Marriage. I didn't actually forget about trying on the dress. I mulled over what my parents had said, sighing. Finn didn't hide his worry as he walked beside me, asking questions in his timid way. Has something happened between you and your parents? Yeah, they told me to go and try on some dress again. Why are you laughing? Oh, I'm sorry. It's unusual to see you frustrated by anything, Lady Spacey. It's amusing. I may not fully understand since I'm a man, but is trying on a dress difficult? Nah, I don't hate it because it's difficult. Oh, when I said dress, I meant wedding dress. A wedding dress. I see. You're not particularly interested in marrying Lady Spacey? Not particularly. Not particularly? Not at all is more like it. Don't you think it's pretty annoying? I don't know. My friend's sister was looking forward to it for a long time. Looking forward to it? It's just a pain, isn't it? First, there are those meetings, like when you see him for the first time. Then you have to prepare for some stupid ceremony. There's so much dumb stuff for something that's just meant to continue the family. Trying on the dress is just part of that. I've had to try on a whole bunch already. I'm not a doll, you know? I want to focus on police duties instead. I feel like that's better for myself and for the country. Don't you agree? That's all very like you. Of course it is. I said it. I nodded at Finn in agreement. The problem is my parents. Especially my mother. She's just way too happy. I think it was her who was getting married, not me. Yes, well, I can't blame her. Your husband, He's from a good family, isn't he? Lord Fitzgerald Evans, yes. Evans, that's more than just a good family then. They live in an entirely different world from me. What are you talking about? I'm marrying a human, not a saint. Unless we were going down Yune's wrong, then we'd absolutely be marrying a saint, kind of. Although we got kicked out, so it's like, well, not really a saint. I suppose. But the Evans family are peers of the realm. I'd hesitate to even talk to them. Are they really that imposing? Nobility only really exists in name these days. Even my family has some titles. It isn't merely a name. I'm sure your manners are a different class to mine. And not that I'd be able to tell you being low-born. At any rate, it's a fortuitous marriage, I think. Yeah, for the Testella family anyway. But for me... You hesitate? I gave Finn a panicked grin. But people marry whoever the government designates and have children. I understand that this is very important for the future of the country, but... As a wife, it'll be expected for me to quit my job when it's time for me to devote myself to motherhood. But when I think about having to leave the work I love, even temporarily, in the not-so-distant future, also just be forced to be a womb, I'm kind of with her on that, you know? All I feel is annoyed. I see. I wish I was like you. Like me? Yeah, like you. Men aren't as directly involved with the business of parenting when they're fathers as women have to be as mothers. You don't have to stop away from your job. Step away from your job, I think. You don't have to sacrifice your own desires for society. I wish I'd been born as a man. Women throughout history. Oh, this sucks. I'm a human being. No, you're cattle. Fuck you. I'm just saying. That wouldn't be ideal. Finn's like, but then I wouldn't be in love with you. You might be, Finn. You might be. You never know what your kink might be, Finn. Why not? Because you are who you are. I can't imagine any other Lady Spacey. Finn? Because he's totally in love with us. Anyway, I prefer the current Lady Spacey, so please don't talk like that about yourself. I'm sorry. Finn... He apologized again and bowed his head. You're so stupidly serious. He was older, taller, and stronger physically than me. But I couldn't remember a time when he wasn't soft-spoken, second-guessing himself with every word. I suppose it shows how honest he is. Finn, aren't you forgetting something? I poked him in the side. He turned his head towards me. I'm your colleague. I've already told you a few times that you shouldn't call me lady. Finn covered his mouth with his right hand, startled by his habitual mistake. I wish I had called ourselves lady. So I'd be like, please, don't call me lady. Call me lady. Just to be like so fucking confusing. I'm sorry. As the daughter of the Testella family, Lady Spacey, I mean, you live in a different world from me, Spacey, so Alright, I know you care deeply about a person's birth and bloodline, but right now I'm your colleague, your partner. Puts me on edge to be called Lady Spacey by you all the time. Can you at least try to be a little less stiff? Yes, I shall. Spacey. Yeah? Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to try it. Wow, that makes me blush. Really? Finn. Yes? Finn. What is it? I'm trying to understand you. I'm not blushing, though. Finn. I'll be the one blushing again if you keep saying my name. Okay, like, normally... Like, I don't like Finn, right? I don't hate him right now, okay? Fine, I'll admit, I don't hate him right now. But, like, normally the, oh, the awkward blushy boy is cute. I know what you do in the slums. I know what you did to me and my friends in the slums. I know what you did to fucking El Creed. Just saying. But him being this awkward blushy nerd while we're, like, completely clueless is kind of funny, but anyway. You see, I still don't get it. Oh well, let's go, Finn. Roger. At the center of our country was the temple. Almost all public servants, including the police officers, worked inside its walls. It had been 2 years since I became a rank 1 police officer. Going to the temple every day had become a familiar routine. Sorry to keep you waiting, Finn. Here's our patrol route for today. I see. It's around the market. Doesn't your family live around here? We could drop by. I do feel like this is slightly different. Because I don't remember us talking about his family, or am I just forgetting because it's been, like, fucking forever? And we skipped it every other time. Or is it, like, actually... I mean... the options, the choices are still the same. You know, you're running after the dude, do you catch him or to retrieve the bag? You know, when we're going through the door to go on our little rounds in the slum, you know, for our rank 2 thing, go through first, ask Finn, suggest going together. You know, some of the other, like, look the same. So, but it's like, for some of the, okay, so I guess it's good that we're reading it. All right, shut up. I complained before, but all right, I'll take it back. I was wrong. This is better, because some of it seems, like, really unfamiliar, so. Anyway. No,
Testella, Euclid, I've been looking for you.
Sir Cordoa! Sir Shady Pants. I thought you were our friend. The large frame of Cordoa Haas swayed toward us. A rank 3 police officer, he was our direct superior. What is it, Sir Cordoa?
As I'm sure you remember, the rank 2 promotion examinations concluded recently. I want to discuss the results.
He turned and began to walk away again immediately. Examination results aren't exactly something we can talk about in the hallway. I glanced at Finn and we followed Sir Cordoa together. I mean, I remember this. Like, you know, we get promoted, blah, blah, blah. But, like, what kind of room is this?
Quarters for foreign visitors. The meeting rooms are all in use right now. We'll use this room for the moment.
These are certainly well appointed for guests. That bed looks very soft.
I wish they'd funnel the money they spend into this and into our equipment instead. Oh well. Are you ready to hear the results of your promotion examinations? He looks all happy and he's like, you both failed! You're fired! Off with their heads!
Yes, always.
You seem very composed, Testella.
Nothing I do will change things now. I did everything I could. I'll accept whatever result I get.
I'd have expected nothing less of you, Testella. Euclid, on the other hand.
The promotion examination? I'm starting to sweat. Finn, for the love of God! It's actually kind of funny that they wrote him, he's like this bubbling fucking, like, wobbly mess. Like, he's a fucking mess. But then, when he ends up in the slums, and he ends up a hound, he turns into a complete psychopath and gets stabby and murdery. I mean, I guess in a way, okay, I'm going to take a step back from my hate from him and be like, I mean, it's kind of a brilliant character development, because you wouldn't see it coming from Finn, you know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, Finn, you're such a fucking doormat, like, Jesus Christ. The reason you'd think you'd hate Finn is like, oh my fucking god, pull yourself together, man. You are literally every MC Otome heroine for the most part. Like, oh my god, I'm so nervous, I'm so anxious, I'm blushing, oh my god, I'm a doormat, oh, I can't do anything. How are you a cop? You can't fucking do anything. I mean, he's not quite that pathetic, but he kind of seems like a little bit of a pathetic mess, you know? And then he's like a psychopath down there, but it's because they beat him and tortured him to the point of driving him to insanity. But if you think about it, we'll be able to handle it because we're a strong person. He's really not. Like, he's really not that strong of a person, so it kind of makes sense that he breaks and, like, literally loses his fucking mind with what they put him through. I mean, I think most normal people probably would break under Sashin, right? But, like, it's gonna take a lot more for us to break under Sashin than it is for fucking Finn. Like, Finn breaks pretty fast, because he's, you know, not the strongest. Which I guess is kind of genius of them. Doesn't mean I forgive him for what he did, but... Whistling, taking a step back. Beep, beep, beep. I'm backing it up. We're going to try to appreciate Finn before he goes psycho. Because this is, you know, he's just a pathetic little doormat that's in love with us. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not sure I really like either version of his personality. The whimpering, stuttering mess. Or, like, the fucking psychopath who tries to kill us. I I don't, but, I mean, this is better than the psychopath that tries to kill us, but. Look, if you hadn't killed Elcrete, I might not have hated you so much. Anyway.
Euclid is also being his usual self. Well, on to the results. To Stella, Euclid, you've both passed. Congratulations.
Sorry. I was doing voices. Did I scare you? What's you doing? Where is your burp friend? Where'd he go?
He's underneath all those he's making like a fucking fort out of newspaper. Like, there's paper on the bottom of his cage, and it keeps getting moved and moved and moved, and I keep moving it down, and now it's, like, literally halfway up the side of the cage, all the paper's up, and he's fucking underneath it. Like, he's literally making a fucking newspaper fort. Bert is fucking weird. I can hear him. You just hear... And then you just look over, and you see the papers rustling, and if you look too closely, he somehow knows you're looking, and he comes flying out, and he's just sitting there on the... Perch like, what? I'm not doing nothing. You're like, bullshit. You're playing in a fucking fort. It's like making a pillow fort, or like a blanket fort, but he's doing it on newspapers. I just cleaned the fucking cage and it looks like a goddamn mess, because the bird's psycho. Like in a funny way. He's a bit of an asshole, but he's a little amusing. Anyway.
Really? We did it, Lady Spacey. I mean, Spacey.
Yeah.
Hi. Let's talk about you, crazy bird. Good job, Finn. You worked hard.
No, I didn't do... Oh no, I'm not letting you get away with that. I know you studied so much that you went without sleep. Because he's not the brightest crayon in the box. Well, I didn't want to be a burden on you. A burden? Finn, you need to take more pride in what you do. You're more competent than you think. I mean... Sure, okay, alright, fine. You know what? Just the other day...
Please wait until later with the chatter. I still have more to say.
Oh, apologies. Please continue, Sir Cordoa. He nodded and handed each of us a white envelope.
This is your provisional promotion certificate, and try not to lose it until you receive the real one. This serves another purpose as well. It's an observation permit for the depths.
The depths? Finn and I both gulped when we heard that word. The depths? Where we send our criminals?
Precisely. Every officer who passes the promotion examination must then undertake an observation mission. Once you come back, you'll officially be ranked 2 officers.
I see. You're asking the 2 of us to go into a den of criminals? Isn't that dangerous? I couldn't blame Finn for being afraid. The depths were a long way from our country. Everyone I knew had been taught from a young age to fear the depths. When I was a little girl, my father used to tell me that if I did something bad, he would send me into the depths where the demons lived.
Okay, Jesus, Dad.
I knew that, if ordered, I would go. I suspect we're sent there precisely because it's dangerous. Am I correct, Sir Cordoa?
Yes. After promotion, you'll be given important assignments. We may require you to handle extremely vile criminals in the future, and it's imperative that you see where we send them.
I understand. Finn, you're going as well, right? Yes, I can do it. Pull yourself together. You won't be going alone. I'll be there with you. The 2 of us can handle it, don't you think? Yes, I think I'll be fine when I'm with you, Spacey.
Relax, Euclid. We have a guide for you there.
A guide?
Yes, there are guards that keep the criminals in check. They'll protect you. Almost everyone who goes on these observation missions comes back in one piece. You'll be fine as long as you don't do anything foolish.
Like getting a sword fight with Sashin? Sure. Almost everyone, huh? I'm a competent sword fighter. I'll protect myself and Finn. I'll protect you too, Spacey, even at the cost of my life.
Excellent. He's like, excellent, neither of you will come back. Your observation mission begins tomorrow, and the details are on your temporary permit. Please read it carefully.
Roger. After Sir Cordoa left, Finn murmured something about the depths. Maybe the criminals aren't running the show there, but I can't imagine it's a safe place. Let's both be on our guard. Finn nodded at me, then put the envelope away. We can make plans for tomorrow later. We have work to do today. Looks like it's quiet as usual. The daytime shifts are good like that. Nothing much happens. As Rank 1 officers, the majority of our assignments were patrols. We just had to do rounds of the inner city, resolving anything that might require our attention. We won't have the chance to patrol as often once we're promoted. Probably. I hear that Rank 2 is mostly office work and investigations. Do you like this better? Yeah, I like these assignments. Of course, it's important to investigate big crimes, but I like being on patrol and looking at things the same way as ordinary citizens. It feels very meaningful. Always faithful, huh? Yeah, always faithful. As police officers, we serve the people. I want to remember that even if I get promoted. Oh, this is Fitzgerald. You look as dashing as always, my lady. Making him a bitch. I don't know. It wasn't a good bitch voice. Lord Fitzgerald! I turned. I knew this man. His name was Fitzgerald Evans. He was the heir apparent of the Evans family and worked as a secretary for his politician father, Warner Evans. He was also my betrothed. I don't dislike him, but... You should. We'd met each other a few times, even before our engagement, but had never been well acquainted. See, it's really weird that you do Finn's route after, you know what I mean? Because Finn's route doesn't have any of the spoiler shit. And, like, you kind of go through, okay, you do El Creed and Ulrich, and then you get a little, and then you get this, and then you get all the fucking answers, and then you do Finn's route where there's, like, no fucking answers, and it's like... It literally is, like, a bonus DLC route. Like, now, okay, we're getting Finn's route, and it's like they added it after, but... You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it's a route that you should do last. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but... Again, also because I think it spoils him when you've seen all the horrible things he does, and you're like... Oh, fuck! Anyway. He was a pleasant, soft-spoken man. There was little to find disagreeable about him, but... That doesn't make me want to marry him. Since the prospect of marrying him didn't sit well with me, even talking on the street with him made me a little uncomfortable. I'd have liked to invite you for tea, but it seems you're working. A pity. I'm making him a bitch because he's a bitch. Look, we dislike him a little bit more than we hate Finn, okay? Like, fuck Finn, but really fuck this guy. He actually killed our fucking parents. Finn's just a psychopath. Right now, Finn's the lesser of two evils. I never thought I'd say that. Yes, perhaps another time. Fitzgerald agreed with a smile. Then he turned to Finn. Good day. Oh, good day. You are... My apologies. I've forgotten your name. I know he's not actually talking in a bitch tone, but... Oh, I'm Finn Euclid. Ah, yes. Your family owns the Euclid Company. It's amusing, really. The Distellas and the Euclids are both well-respected lineages, and yet neither of their children are joining the family business. I fail to see the strangeness. We're guaranteed professional freedom by law. Yes, but ordinarily children follow in the steps of their parents. Most choose the safest and most stable route. Well... Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean to upset you. If this is what you hoped and wished for, then I think it's wonderful that you were able to pursue it. Sounds like... I'm making him sound like he's rolling his eyes about all this. It's so great you can pursue it. Excuse me. Good day, my lady. Yes, good day to you. Look, we just know what a twat he is, so... I liked black tea, but I didn't feel like drinking it with Lord Fitzgerald. The pressures of protocol and suitable conversation would have made me feel self-conscious. Good thing I'm on duty right now. I watched Lord Fitzgerald walk away and deflated with relief. He's pretty cool. Really? Absolutely. He's very refined and kind, and despite his high birth, he talked to me. I see. If you like him so much, maybe you should marry him. What? But I can't. Why are you so serious? I know you can't. Finn's like, but I wish I could. Finn's a little gay, I'm just saying. Maybe that's why he killed, Elkreed. He's just jealous. You'd make a nice pair with how highly you think of him. That's all. I only gave credit where it's due. Do you dislike him, Lady Spacey? Don't call me Lady. Again, I want to change our name to Lady just for this, just for the prologue. Don't go... Do you not like him, Lady? Don't call me Lady! Okay, wait, but... I'm so uncomfortable right now. I cannot get comfortable. It's killing me. I hate this chair. It's where I sit for work, because, like, on my desk, but I don't like it. Like, my back is not, like, my back thing is, like, and then I want to have my feet up, but I can't. Oh, my God. I am just so fucking uncomfortable. It's killing me. Like, ugh. But I can't sit on my couch, because my couch is uncomfortable. My whole house is fucking uncomfortable. Like, Jesus. I need a comfortable fucking chair, but Jesus. Well, it's like, because I could sit in my chair and it's okay, but then my arm is laying on my desk, and then it's like I'm going to get this arm groove, but I can't, like, I don't have a wrist pad for my mat, and then it's like, I can't get comfortable. It's killing me, so. Finn gave me another quick apology. In response to his question, I shook my head. I don't dislike him. I think he's very agreeable. I'm surprised he was paired with a tomboy like me. It's not that I can't accept him personally. It's that I can't accept having to marry. Spacey, I can't spend all my days complaining, though. I mean, that's what I do. This marriage is ordained by law. As a police officer, I uphold the law. What kind of police officer would I be if I didn't accept this? Alright, this evening, I'm gonna try on the wedding dress. Will you come with me, Finn? Gladly. Thanks, that'll help. If the country's going to pick my husband for me, why can't it pick my wedding dress too? If it decided everything for me, I could just accept my fate. Think of it like thorough foot patrols. Not everything can be made better by making it more efficient. I see. I suppose you have a point. So when's the marriage ceremony? Beats me. What? It's your wedding. Well, it's not a very high priority for me. I mean, never, but... Finn gave me an exasperated smile. I can't blame him for being a little fed up. The conversation was starting to feel awkward. I decided to change the topic. Right. What about you? Finn looked at me quizzically. I ran into your father the other day. He told me your own wedding has been postponed. Yes, I didn't feel I was secure enough yet to marry. Secure? I wasn't sure whether I could be head of a household as a rank 1 officer. We used an exception in the law to postpone the wedding. It's like I didn't want to marry because it's not you. We talked to the other family about it, of course. They understand that it's important I have a stable life first. An exception in the law? I see. I didn't realize that was possible. Scheming. What's wrong? Oh, nothing. Don't mind me. A stable life, huh? Well, you passed the promotion exam. That should do wonders for your salary. Oh, yes, I suppose. The government might withdraw the postponement once I'm promoted, since it doesn't fit the population plan. I see. Finn's getting married! Why is that so funny? I'm laughing because I'm pleased. My wonderful partner is getting married. Congratulations! I'm not so sure. Besides, you don't even like your own wedding. No, that's a completely different situation. You're 4 years older than I am. Our ranks might be the same, but I'm going to use you as a mentor and learn from your example. Walk proudly in the harbor of marriage, Finn. I'll follow in your footsteps eventually. You're clearly making fun of me, but I'll do my best. Yes, I have high hopes. Well, he's secretly imagining you every time he sleeps with his wife. Good lord. Creepy. So what's she like, the woman you're marrying? So far, you've always deflected that question. You better spit it out now. She... Ah! Oh, that was a lady. Ah! Did you hear that? Something happened. Because we chased a man with a bag. There! The woman! Are you hurt, my lady? I'm okay, but my... What happened? That man took my bag! We looked in the direction she was pointing. We could only see his back, but he was carrying what looked like a bag. Finn, let's get him! Roger. It's hard to squeeze through this crowd. I took my whistle and blew as hard as I could. The crowd parted at the sound. Thank you! Let's split up. Spacey, go straight here. Finn ran into a side road. Finn knows more about this area than I do. Hoping he'd be able to find his way back to me, I kept following our target. Surrender! If you give yourself up quietly, you won't... You won't catch me! What? The man began to throw items at me from street stalls. I had to be careful not to trip over anything underfoot. Theft alone wasn't enough. You had to add obstruction of justice and property damage. Literal obstruction of justice. You won't escape. I raced down the street after the man. I was closing in on him. I can do this. Just as he was almost in my grasp, he threw the bag at me. Whoa! The bag sailed through the air over my head, landing behind me. I'm supposed to retrieve the bag, but if I stopped to pick up the bag, he would escape. I had to choose between that and catching him. We catch the man. I didn't want to leave the bag on the ground, but I couldn't let him escape either. I have to catch him no matter what. I managed a new burst of speed and slammed into his back. We both rolled across the pavement. Surrender! Even if he wanted to escape, he couldn't. I sat on his body and restrained him with rope. You have the right to remain silent. Everything you say can be used against you. Let me go! Stop struggling! Anyway, you're under arrest. You can think about a good excuse while you're in your cell. I checked the rope to make sure he couldn't free himself. Then I stood up. The man stayed on the ground, resigned to his fate. Good grief. It looks like there's nothing for me to do anymore. Finn! I found this on the way. I believe it's the woman's. You picked it up. Good work. Oh, I didn't do anything. Stand still for a moment. Finn took a white handkerchief and wiped something off my cheek. There, you had some dirt on your cheek. I'll handle our culprit now. Thanks. All right, let's go back to the lady. Yeah. Yes. Hello. We've caught the criminal and retrieved your bag. It seems to be undamaged. Would you please check the contents just in case? Yes, it's all there. Thank you. How can I repay this? You don't need to. It's our job as police officers to keep the peace in this town. I threw a glance at Finn. But $20 is $20, lady. I'm just kidding. He realized what I wanted and straightened out his back. Everyone, thank you for your assistance in apprehending this criminal. Finn and I both put our left hands on the hilt of our swords and saluted. The crowd applauded. A lot of people sneer at patrol work. There wasn't much I valued more than applause and happiness of those I protected. I loved my job. Handing him over took longer than I expected. Yes, I couldn't believe how many other offenses there were on record. Got that right. We can be proud of ourselves for catching someone like that. Let's make this country a better place together. Yes. Oh, right, this is Sinkable Arc. This fucking dude. Why, hello there. You look as fired up as always, honey. This man. I told you before not to call me that. A man called Sinkable Arc walked towards us with an easygoing air. Sinkable Arc. It's such a fucking name. He's just here to be an ass. I wonder if he, is something more in Finn's route at all, because he's just here to just antagonize us a little, and then later when either of us antagonizes a little, but it's like, but that's it. It's like, what are you here for? You serve no purpose. Fitzgerald Evans serves a purpose. He's our fiancé, and he murdered our parents. Sinkable Arc is just here to poke us a little, and I don't know. He was a rank 1 officer as well, and our colleague. He was a reasonably good officer, but his personality generated a lot of friction. I really hate this man. I couldn't just ignore him, though. I swallowed down my ire as I spoke to him. Being passionate about one's work hardly seems bad. Absolutely, honey. Thanks for your dedication. It raises the prestige of the entire police force when you two work like hamsters in a wheel. But you're a woman. Sooner or later, you'll get married or something and leave. And then our arrest numbers will fall again and all that hard-won prestige goes down the drain. What are you getting at? I'm saying that this isn't the place for you. I bit my lip so I wouldn't snap back at him. Ark snorted and turned his attention towards Finn. You sure have it rough, Finn. I feel for you, having to escort the princess around while she acts like a lawkeeper. Seriously? You got the shortest of straws. Actually, you're the shortest of straws. I might be taller than you. Fucking little elf bitch. I was trying to insult his height, but that didn't come out, or whatever.
He's the shortest straw! Ark. Oh, did I get that wrong? You seem pretty happy hanging out with her. Like a little kid running after his mother. You dare insult not only me, but Finn as well? I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, just kidding. You'll pay for this! Oh boy, you should put that away again. I say that for your sake. I'm not the one in danger here. If you injure me, getting kicked out of the force is going to be the least of your troubles. He's right. Please sheath your sword. But... please calm down. Let's go, Spacey. Fine! Finn, the voice of reason, for once. The only time. But then we're like, Finn, take your own advice. And a good day to you, model officers. I really hate that man. His sarcastic laughter rang behind us. I mean, I feel like the only purpose for that scene that I can see at all is like Finn being like, please sheath your sword. Like, he's being our voice of reason. And then later, he absolutely has no fucking reason. You're like, you were our voice of reason, but now you cray-cray? Really? It's kind of funny. We stayed side by side as we checked our orders for the next day, as if we were still on duty. It's not as crowded here this late in the day. Why did you stop me? I came to a halt as I asked the question, but Finn kept moving forward. Stop you? His steps paused and he turned to look at me. I could see in his expression that he was waiting for me to clarify. I'm talking about earlier. Why did you stop me? You really want to murder fucking Ark that bad? Why didn't you find a way to retaliate? Finn gave a quiet murmur. I knew he understood what I meant. Also, he's probably thinking because I don't want to go to jail. We're going to go there tomorrow and you're going to see, and we don't want to go there. But even if he understood, he showed no signs of being troubled by it. He was insulting you. Aren't you upset? Insults like that mean nothing to me. I'm used to them. Used to them? Sorry. Finn nodded, giving me an uncomfortable grin. Then he took a step towards me. I'm less intelligent and less talented than most, and I know it. I failed the police employment exam twice. I'd be useless in the field without you. Then, it's all right. I don't care what other people say about me. As long as I can work with you, I'm happy. That's why I stopped you. I didn't want you or your future to be under any kind of threat because of someone like him. I apologize if you didn't want me involved. Well. I can't be angry at you for wanting the best for me, can I? We've worked together for a long time. You probably know this, but I can be a bit reckless sometimes. A bit? Are you trying to say something? Oh no, a little reckless. I agree. Yes, a little reckless. Not very reckless, just a little. Probably. Anyway. I do my best to work on it, but objectivity doesn't always come naturally to me. I've been grateful that you're there so many times. So don't think of yourself as useless. I wouldn't be here without you. I wouldn't have taken the promotion exam either. Finn, I'm glad you're my partner. Lady Spacey. Oh. I told you not to call me that. Gosh. Finn was invaluable to me on so many occasions. If he hadn't been with me, who knows what I'd have done. Perhaps Ark... I tried not to yawn, but I couldn't help it. Perhaps Ark would be injured now at my hand. I knew how lucky I was to have a partner like Finn. Well then, off to battle! Battle? Yes, I need to try on that dress we talked about. I see. Are you sure you want me there? I don't know anything about women's clothes. Of course, it's essential that you're there with me. I can overcome any hardship with you. That sounds like hyperbole, but I'm still honored. And I want you to know that when I'm with you, I think the tailor's over there. After me, Finn! Like, he's, like, trying to, like, confess his love to us half the time, and we're like, yes! Oh, man. This dress is so tight. The tailor said it was custom fitted, but I think he also said it would be uncomfortable at first. They'd taken my measurements a few months earlier. I didn't want to believe I'd gained weight in the interim. Oh, sweetie, quarantine will do that to you. I don't like the dresses at home.
I don't like the dresses at home to begin with. This is a whole other level. I mean, it's like a ball gown. I sighed and looked at myself in the mirror. I have no idea if this looks good or bad. Therefore, I'm sorry. Finn, are you there? Yes, what is it? Remember our CG? How does it look? Spacey, I want to know if you think it looks good. Your reaction made the answer quite obvious. That'll be enough, thank you. Enough? What do you mean? Hey, answer me, please. I can't pull the curtain back. Please. You didn't know what to say because it looks so bad, right? No, not at all. I was just startled. Can I say it again? You don't have to be considerate. I'm not trying to be considerate. I swear on my sword that I'll tell you the truth. And please let me see it again. He's like stunned. How is it? It's beautiful. Very beautiful. Finn. Of course it is. I like how is that the truth? Of course it is. It's more like, I think it's supposed to be the of course it is to the dress. Like, it's beautiful. Of course it is. But it's still funny like, is that the truth? Of course it is. It flows too naturally. I thought I was used to having him stare at me, but there was a heat in his gaze that wasn't usually there. It made me embarrassed. It's just Finn, stupid. Desperate to distract myself from my discomfort, I laughed along with my reply. Of course it is. This was tailored for me, you know. Of course it looks good on me. Yes, you're right. His agreement came instantly. I guess this is typical of him. I wanted him to laugh, to do something, but he didn't. He just kept gazing at me. Would you stop staring? Oh, I'm sorry. It's a very unexpected sight. It must be. I tend to prefer more rustic and masculine clothes. My ordinary outfits aren't this attractive. That's not true. You're always wonderful. And if you weren't aware that he was in love with you, you should be now. Finn, unless he's gay, and then he's like, girl, you always look fabulous. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been odd. Please forget everything I said here. Please. Finn was now bright red. Probably as red as I was. The tailor smiled, having observed our conversation from a distance. The tailor thinks you're getting married. It got pretty dark. Yeah, you did well at the tailor's. It sure was exhausting. Especially with my hair getting tangled up in the dress when I tried to take it off. Thanks for your help there, Finn. You're welcome. I'm sorry I went into the changing room. You did it for me. There's nothing to apologize for. Yes, but it was very rude of me to barge in it as you were changing. Oh, as you changed. I'll try to better myself. I told you that it's fine. You're honestly more dexterous than I thought. No, anybody could have done that for you. Gotten a dress off me that fast? Just saying. Maybe Eldcreed. I couldn't do it alone, that's for sure. Not as carefully as you did. Probably have just decided to heck with it and cut off my hair. Thank you, Finn. Finn smiled at me. The whole ordeal was a chore, but at least it's over and done with. I happily chattered away. Sorry that you have to come so far in this direction to walk me home. I know you live the other way. I don't mind. It means you're not walking alone at night. You don't have to worry about me. I can protect myself with my sword. Yes, I know, but I can't help it. I still worry. I don't want to imagine you in danger. Finn, you're my partner. You're a part of my life. I want to be able to protect you sometimes, Spacey. All right, but the same goes for me as well. We're equals. We protect each other. Don't hesitate to let me be there for you, too. Okay, thank you. I've got an idea. Would you like to come to my house for dinner? I want to pay you back for how much time you spent with me at work. Oh, after work. I'd love to, but I've still got so much to do for tomorrow. Oh, I see. We're going to the depths tomorrow. I should make preparations, too. Tomorrow's probably going to be exhausting. Do you want to eat with me the next time we have a day off, then? Yes, I'd like that, if it's not too much trouble. Of course it isn't. I'll tell the servants to make a huge feast. Thank you. I look forward to it. Yeah, me too. Sorry for taking up so much of your time. Take care on the way home. I will. See you tomorrow. I have a feeling that, like, Fitzgerald Evans would be the person if they weren't like, oh, let's murder her parents, and then I could her set up. Okay, sorry about that. So I was in the middle of talking, and I pulled my headset jack out, and I was like, oh, shit, sorry, blah, blah, blah. My thing was still recording. It still had the red thing around it. Didn't fucking record any of the last few minutes of me reading the rest of what was happening and also finishing my thought and whatever. So I'm gonna get to do it again. So, and unfortunately, this game doesn't let you go fucking back up to where you were, so we just have to read it through the backlog, and I'm fucking livid right now. Like, so I unplugged my headset, but my recording software, the border, because this is windowed, so it's a small screen, is red when it's recording, it's green when it's not. It's fucking red the whole time. The timer was still going. I looked, I was watching it. But it didn't fucking record past when I pulled my headset out. You fucking bullshitting me right now? I'm so mad. Anyway, so the point I was trying to make when I ripped my headset out was I feel like Warner Evans is the type of person, like, yeah, we went down, we fought Sashin, Glissade saw our blood was magical or some whatever, right? Did we ever really figure out that? I mean, aside from he wanted us to resurrect his dead daughter, right? Like, but like, do we really figure that one out? Is that like still, like, I don't even remember that getting wrapped up. But anyway, but if that hadn't happened, you know, oh, we'd have gone down, blah, blah, blah. There would have been no excuse for Warner to kill our parents, right? Like, oh, okay, cool, we can get her. But he hated us anyway, and he didn't want us to marry his son. So I feel like, because just our conversation with Finn, like, hey, you should come over for dinner, and we're pals, right? And I was thinking to myself as I'm reading this, like, I wonder how, like, Fitzgerald Evans would feel about that when if we married that asshole. Like, hello? I mean, aside from, if at some point he would force us out of work, right? But, and I'm just like, oh, I wonder if Warner Evans would be the person to, like, fake that we were like, oh my god, she's having an affair with him, and because nothing we say is gonna go, like, they're not gonna believe us over him, right? And we'd have ended up in the depths with Finn anyway. Like, we'd have ended up there for adultery, even though we were doing nothing, just because Warner Evan hates us so much and doesn't think we're good enough for his son. So that was the point I was trying to make, and then we finished reading, and so we'll finish reading it from here, because, like, fuck my recording software. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Finn made a little bow and began to walk away. Slowly, he faded into the darkness of the night. Well, time to go in, and then that's it. That's where we are. Okay, so, anyway, this is where we're going to end it. But what I also said as we were ending it was I am not 100% sure when this is going up. My intent right now is to be posting this on Sundays in place of Taisho Alice, because Taisho Alice will have finished up at this point. I'm recording this way in advance just because I wasn't 100% sure, like, am I gonna be able to stand dealing with Finn? Am I gonna need to take frequent breaks? Like, I recorded one part I can't fucking do anymore. Like, most of our games go up every other day. This is also kind of a short one-off because it might take 10, 12 hours. I'm not sure. The way I do it, it'll take like 15, but because the other game, the whole game was like 60 hours, not even, and that was 5 routes and the grand ending, right? Which took fucking forever. It took fucking forever the second time around. So this, I was like, okay, it was like 10 hours. We're still doing, like, with the prologue again. You know what I mean? So I'm like, 10 to 12 hours. Okay, fine. It's not that long. It's not a long game where we need to put it up in a normal time slot like we do. So I was like, well, Taisho Alice has been going up on Sundays. Maybe we'll just throw this up on Sunday when Taisho Alice is done. So if that's the way it goes, then today is November 29th. And I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do one part every Sunday or 2 like I was doing with Taisho Alice. So you'll find out if you see another part in a couple of hours go up today. Otherwise, next week. Depends on how much I can get done. Again, I'm recording this like a month in advance because I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to be able to stand doing that much Finn at a time, where, like, I'd need more breaks in between to the point where if I waited till like a week before, I'd be like, I don't want to have to do 2 parts a week and I can't take it. So like start in advance so I could take a few days in between. I don't know how it's going to go. Right now, I'm fine with him. He's a doormat, but at least I'm like trying very hard to be like, don't hate him. Don't hate him. He's not going down that route where he's going to be a psychopath, but I still hate him. I still don't like him. I don't think it's going to change my mind and be like, no, I was wrong about him. I'm still going to be like, no. No, I still don't like you. You were up there with Toma and M2. You're just in those like, fuck you guys. Like, there's just some things you don't get over. You killed Elcreed. Anyway, so we'll see. We'll see if it's going to be once a week or if we'll do the 2 like twice a week, but it's probably going to be Sundays for a while. So, we'll see, and we'll just let it go as it goes. And if anything changes, you'll know because you'll just see it whenever the hell you see it. But my intent at the moment is probably Sundays. But like I said, we'll see what happens, what falls apart, or if I'm missing or something happened and I don't have anything to fill and I got to fill in gaps and this goes up like every day. I don't know. You know what I mean? Look, sometimes all my intentions get thrown out the window, but we'll see. But I will see you guys around in the next part, whenever that might be. So yeah, remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.